This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.
Welcome back to the Champions League pool here on Free Sports. We've got one match remaining and everything is on the line. But what we do have is an updated finals night. Michael Hill has done it. 3 wins from 3 is enough to qualify the machine. There he is, pride of place next to Neil Raybone. That will be his opponent first up on finals night next week. Aaron Davies anxiously awaits his opponent. It will be one of these two, Shaun Storry versus Chris Melling. Winner takes all in our final match of the night. If it is to be a draw, we will have a 6-red shootout. It's all set up rather lovely, isn't it, Simon?
It is, and as always, when you've got 2 players at this level, it will come down to who gets the opportunities. We've seen both players tonight playing some very good high-level pool. We've seen their breaks be excellent at times, but we've also seen it dip a little bit, so maybe which player can get themselves the most opportunities, and not the greatest start here for Shaun Storry with this dry break.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad hit. See plenty of movement, but nothing down, and first opportunity then goes to Chris Melling.
And the sort of layout that he would love to get as well. First opportunity in the match, you need to win to qualify through. No clusters, no problems. Just about picking that pattern and working your way through it. Even the reds have sort of spread out the way, away from all the yellows.
Still just see an instance there of just how reactive this table is off the screw shots and off the cushions. Does occasionally catch even the best by surprise.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout the competition, but once those players get used to it, it absolutely plays lovely out there. Perfect shape all the way through this for Chris Melling. And he's definitely stepped up a level following his opening loss to Michael Hill. 3 finishes from the break in his last match, and he's going to start this match with a reverse dish. Fine style from Chris Melling. The dry break from Shaun Storry fully punished, and Chris Melling takes that 1-frame-to-0 lead. Well, Stephen Jameson's just popped out to get a few words with the man already through to finals night in Michael Hill.
Michael, big congratulations. Your work is done. Finals night place secured. How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, you're just trying to get through, aren't you? And you know, take each round. It's a bit of a cliche, but you are. It was interesting there, the last match, because it's obviously dead rubber for me. I'm already through, and you know, I wasn't playing with the intensity in the first couple of frames, and then Dave sort of let me off when he dropped short, playing the yellow in the corner. And then, to be honest with you, I thought about all the boys back home that, you know, might have had a treble or might have had me to win the group and all these different things. And you know, I thought, you know, let's get your nut down, and they might give me a drink, can't they, out of it, if you're watching.
And in terms of what lies in store for you, I mean, you've had to do it the hard way. You had that dreadfully tough group in the final group stage night. You've had this frightfully tough quarter-final as well. You've had to do it the hard way. Doesn't get any easier for you. Neil Raybone lies in wait next week. Have you ever played Neil, or is it a new experience for you?
Yeah, well, I've known Neil since he's been 12. You know, cause obviously he's
right sort of area. I was thinking
he's from Willenhall. He burst on the scene. I'd probably be about 16. He'd probably be about 12. We went to play in America. he sort of, ironically, asked me to sort of look after him in America, and we went and whatever. So I've known Neil and his mum and whatever, for a very, very long time. So it's a nice occasion because I would rather play with no kind of animosity or bad feeling. I feel like I enjoy it more. And you know what, if Neil beats me, fair play, I hope he wins it, you know what I mean?
Well, you know how good a player he is, at least. Hey, that should be a great occasion next week, Michael. Thanks for tonight, and best of luck. We'll see you soon.
All right, cheers.
Back to you, Si.
Well, as we rejoin this match, what a break from Chris Melling. Following the reverse dish in the first frame, just 5 balls off the break to open up this frame, and no mistakes in mopping them through. So that's a reverse dish, break dish start. What a start to this match. Chris Melling, when a match he has to win to go through, and 2-0 up very quickly.
Did I miss anything?
Just a very quick fire 5-ball break dish.
Goodness me. Didn't feel that was a particularly long interview, but there we are. Well, a reminder of what we're currently looking at with the quarterfinal 2 league table here. Reminder, 2 qualify, so Michael Hill is through. He's done his bit, and he will qualify top of the group. He can't be caught. Shaun, Storry and Chris Melling here playing for 2nd place, and for that finals night spot. Winner takes all. A draw takes us to a shootout, but already Chris Melling has put Shaun Storry under a little bit of pressure. He's just cranking it up even higher. Shaun really can't afford any more mistakes from here on out.
The one thing we know with Shaun Storry, he is capable of a comeback. We've seen him do it in this format before. We've seen him do it before tonight. He was 2-0 down, staring 3-0 down in the face to David McNamara, and responded. And I keep going back to it, but that match against Simon Fitzsimmons in the Super Series 6 months or so ago, where he was 4-1 down, 8 minutes left on the clock, and he rattled off 4 straight finishes to turn that match around and win it 5-4, or that set around, I should say.
I think even that great comeback aside, and as great a player as Simon Fitzsimmons is, this would go straight in at number 1 for Shaun's greatest comeback victory if he was to pull this off, even at this early juncture with the stakes that are on. This is as tough and as high a level as it gets.
That was a brilliant little shot. 0 margin of error to try and land on this yellow to the bottom right corner. He still has a problem getting out for his next ball, but he knew that when he played position onto it. And that's excellent as well. Those last 2 shots to clear his problem ball and land on his next ball. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from Shaun Storry.
That is proper. We just said it. He can't afford to make mistakes. He's under the thumb against one of the best to ever do it. He's got to play perfectly. That's the sort of thing he needs to do. That was brilliant, really was. The shot to land on this was great, but even then the pot and the cannon to get himself back into position was superb from Shaun. It really was.
Just when he'd done all the hard work, is that flick killed him? Yeah, looks like it has. Just needed to slide by that, and he would have been on the yellow with loads of room to land on the 8 ball. Now, he's a little swerve. I was going to say a little swerve. He's had to swerve it a long way. So frustrating for Shaun, because so much hard work went into getting him into that position.
That was a high tariff clearance that was very nearly put away. As we mentioned, there just isn't any margin for error when you're playing against a player like Chris Melling. Just can't afford to. Shaun knows that. He was under no illusions, don't you worry about that. But it's been interesting. We sort of build it tonight, didn't we? As the sort of, your first ballot Hall of Famers almost in Chris Melling and Michael Hill, that they will go down as one of the greats to ever do it. Don't worry about that. They're still brilliant. But for Shaun and David tonight, they're that new generation, aren't they? They're not particularly young or sprightly, they're not teenagers anymore, but they are that next wave of top talent, and I just feel like it's been a message sent down by Chris and Michael tonight.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you, really. Especially the thing is that start of this tournament, Chris Melling and Michael Hill, there'd have been a lot talked about them, and two of the big favourites to win the competition. But you've got to go out there and do it and re-show it. And in this format, it's such a volatile format with such good players against them. For them to be in this position, Michael already over the line, and Chris, this 8-ball will put them 3-0 ahead. It's incredible stuff from both of them.
3-0 to the Magician. That's a tough one to take for Shaun Storry. He very, very nearly made that 2-1. He was a flick of a ball away from making it 2-1, you feel, and we've said it time and time again tonight. We'll keep on saying it. At this level, the margins are so fine, and that really is all it takes. Just ask Dave McNamara.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be frustrating for Shaun. But the one thing, because he's still in this, the one thing he has to remind himself is he's still in this. Yes, he's 3-0 down. He needs to win at least three frames. A draw would be enough to get him into the 6-red shootout, but 4 obviously to make it through straight. But there's 12.5 minutes left on the clock. There is time. He's been in worse situations in terms of time and position in a set, so he can turn this around. But he needs the opportunities, and Chris doesn't look like he's in the mood to let up on his opportunities, so he kind of needs all the breaks to go his way and then take them.
And in terms of what it would mean to Chris to qualify through, we talk about everything that he's done. What an incredible achievement it would be for him, despite everything that he's achieved.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been, it would be absolutely incredible for Chris as well.
Well, we have to go to a break right now, but we will be back with you with the conclusion of this match between Chris Melling and Shaun Storry when we come back. Welcome back to the Champions League pool here on Free Sports. Do apologies if some of you were experiencing any technical difficulties there. We should be all back and with you. You haven't missed any live action, that's what we can tell you. It's still 3-0 to Chris Melling. Shaun Storry still needs a miracle. The situation hasn't changed. If Chris breaks how he did previously, he's going to find it difficult to find. But his opportunity going to knock for Shaun Storry. He is now back to the wall. He has to be perfect from here on out. Possible, Simon?
Possible, unlikely, but it's definitely possible. But as I said before we went to that last break, it's what he needs to do is get the opportunities. Doesn't look like Chris is going to give up the opportunities if they come his way. So he needs to have the chances off the front ball breaks. And we're just having another quick look to see whether this is a foul break or not. And it isn't, so we are just into a normal frame. Clock does get stopped in that situation as well. Not the greatest chance here for Shaun, but probably better than the last one he attempted. Little congested at the bottom end of the table, but every ball does actually have a pocket. And that's a lovely little start. Found the perfect area on the table to try and take these out. Would love to have been straighter, I think, on this ball, so he could take it and then take the one to the top right corner, and then it's pretty much straight in from there. Now he's got too much angle to do that. And I think that's why he's played the shot that he has. I think he was just trying to pinch that a little bit. But it's a strange shot that Shaun has just played.
Well, Chris is going to attack these, I think, if he can. It's not easy to. I think he can thread the needle here to the middle pocket. Yeah, just glanced off that yellow, didn't it? But it has a home. But I just feel like he's going to have to conjure something up. Difficult here. Yellow at the bottom of the table goes to the right middle. I think the one glued to the 8 ball might have a pocket in the top right. maybe right middle, thin. But this is difficult.
He could play into that yellow and 8 ball now. The problem he's got is he's going to be nudging probably the 8 ball towards the bottom left-hand corner, which causes another problem. So it's not ideal to play that shot, but I think he does need a cannon. And that's not ideal.
No, it isn't.
Looking at a cut back to the top right-hand corner. Looks like the path of the cue ball is then going into the 8 ball, which actually is now going into that 2 problem balls from the nice angle.
Oh, this could be an amazing shot. Oh, this could be an amazing shot. 8 ball's still not ideal. Now you just think about, does it potentially squeeze in the bottom left? Is that red creating a big pocket, perhaps?
Don't know if it's a big pocket. It looks a tight pocket. It's difficult to tell unless you get right behind those, but it doesn't look ideal. But the fact that he's got to this situation is incredible, because he looked out of position 2 shots ago.
Yeah, it was some shot, wasn't it?
He has the angle. He could just screw back past the 8 ball and take the 8 ball into the same pocket if he has to.
Looks like he is.
No, he's going to play for it for the bottom left. This looks tight.
Yeah, doesn't it just? This for the win. Not to be. It was too tight. Shaun Storry stays alive. He has tried to play cushion first. Off the red. Didn't quite get the angle right. Had to play. I think your margin of error there is next to nothing, isn't it?
You have to almost catch the jaw and then the 8 ball almost at the same instance, just before the jaw and then the 8 ball, then the red, sorry, and then the 8 ball go in. But it did always look a little bit too tight.
Well, this is the one that Shaun Storry needed. A counter clearance on Chris's break is exactly what he needed. He has the next break. And he's going to go within 2. Shaun Storry staying alive in the Champions League.
8 minutes left on the clock. It's lots of time left for Shaun if he needs it. A big break on his next break. And give himself that opportunity that he's looking for that would certainly make Chris think, considering he had the chance there to wrap up the match. But the other thing to bear in mind as well is that Shaun, since the first lockdown, Shaun has been the guy we have seen that's chased the golden break the most, and he's probably, I don't know the exact statistics, but he probably has had more golden breaks than any other player.
Yeah, I think so. I think from memory alone, I can remember 3, maybe even more that he's hit. Hit one obviously tonight. It's a weapon for him, and I remember when he first turned up at the Super Series, he talked about practicing to get that 8 ball in motion. He was specifically playing for it, and first player really in this new rule set that admitted to that and said he was actually working on it.
Yeah, definitely, and I think and he's stuck with it. He's continued to chase it and continued to try and get it going, and he would love to see it get in motion here and actually find a golden break. Certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, for Chris Melling, he's just trying to put the cat in the basket. Well, Shaun Storry needed a big break. Hasn't he found it?
It may not be the golden break, but this is just what he would have wanted. What a lovely break and what a split he's left himself here. Just a lovely little table to go at.
Can't be any excuses here. This has to go 3-2.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of layouts where Shaun knows this has to go. Chris is expecting it to go. Chris is sat there. If he gets to the table and it's not 3-2, he'll be massively shocked. But as the player, as Shaun Storry, he still has to work it out. He still has to make sure. It's never as easy as we make out here from the commentary box. Now that one's out the way and he's on the one nearest the left centre pocket. It is now just drop-ins I guess the 8-ball is a ball that he still has to just pick a pocket. It doesn't go to its obvious right centre pocket, but it does go to the top left. Would be the most obvious candidate, but he's got a couple of other choices as well.
Oh, he's given it short shrift, this clearance, hasn't he? He hasn't hung about, because he's got an eye on the clock here. Shaun Storry, if he can allow himself to think these thoughts, won't want, if he can avoid it, a 6-red shootout against Chris Melling. He's probably the last player on earth you'd want to have a 6-red shootout against.
That's a very fair point, but at 3-0 down, you'd take it.
Don't get me wrong, Shaun Storry will be desperate for any opportunity he can get, but if he can avoid it, which he can here by playing quickly, he wants to try and win this outright. He doesn't want the idea of a 3-3. 5:53 left, it's 3-2. Shaun Storry in the mix here, relying on another possibility of a chance from Chris Melling off his break.
Pressure certainly turns here to Chris, doesn't it? You know, he sat there at 3-0 up. He's had his opportunity to win the match 4-1, didn't take it. He's already missed a match ball, and now the pressure's on him.
If you're just joining us, that is what we're looking at next week. Michael Hill has done his job. The machine is through to face Neil Raybo next week in finals night. Aaron Davies awaits the winner of this match in the other semi-final. Oh, what a lineup that is. Whatever happens, that is such a good lineup.
Oh, it really is. I mean, incredible. Aaron's been one of the hottest players over the last couple of years. Neil's been certainly on Free Sports. We've seen a lot of him. He was the #1 ranked IPA player for a long time. We saw him win the Premier League, one of the last tournaments we saw before lockdown on Free Sports. And of course, Michael Hill, one of the greatest of all time.
And I think we often talk. Just wait to see this break actually before I make this point. Oh, it might come out dry. Hello, Shaun Storry. Hello, Shaun Storry. What have you got for us? Well, what a time to come at dry for Chris Melling. He's hit these really well, I think. Shaun Storry with a great chance to tie it up. I was just going to say, Simon, it's sort of with the quality of the player that we're going to have either here. So with the 3 that are already there, either of these 2, it's 4 of the best players in the world right now. You know, we talk about this format being really volatile and it being, you know, a shark tank. It's difficult to get out, but it does show as well. It drags the quality up as well. The best players have made it through.
Yeah, I think for me, what happens is that, yes, we, you know, in these sort of matches, races to 4 is very short in the pool world, and certainly with a short shot clock and everything else, and the shootout rules with the golden break and everything else, is a volatile format. But the reason the great players are great players is because they handle the pressure situations the best. That's why they are great players, and for me, in this format, you are put under pressure and you have to handle those pressure situations, which is why you see great players coming through it, and you know, players below that, you know, sometimes can wilt in that situation.
Well, back to the action on the table right now, because this is right in the mixer. That's a lovely little swerve pot from Shaun Storry. Couldn't see all of that. Brilliant technique. And just wonder how close he is to going for these. The yellow at the bottom right is obviously a huge problem. What can he do to get around that? 3 minutes 50 remaining. That's plenty of time for this frame if this is to be his only visit to this table.
No, he wasn't playing the cannon he got. He was trying to cannon in the ball that is the problem, and now he's left himself straight on the one to the corner. Can't go at it next shot, and can't get on the last yellow ball to be able to get onto the yellow that's the bottom. So he's really in a bad situation now. I just don't see how he can get out from here. And Chris will be sat in his chair very happy and very content, and say to Shaun, keep going. Oh wow, create an angle that wasn't there. What an effort.
He deserved that.
that was just about straight. He's had to absolutely power that in to create an angle to come on that side cushion. That's a brilliant shot, and he's opened up the yellow enough that it probably now sneaks by the red. He just can't pot it from where he is now.
Can he pot the long yellow? No. It was tough. That was a horrible pot. This is the shot again. You can see how straight that is. That is amazing movement.
You're powering it in with huge amount of topspin so that the ball goes in and the cue ball almost stops and it throws wider, and then the topspin takes over and hits the side cushion and gets into that ball. Really hard to do, and he played the shot so well. You can argue that he probably deserved to be better on the ball than he was.
I totally agree with that. He's unlucky. But now Chris Melling is almost there. 4 reds and the 8 ball away from home. Flashes that one into the top of the table. Just get the feeling that it was true for Mick Hill earlier on tonight. I think it's been true for Chris Melling for large periods as well. They're just feeling in their groove in this competition. He's been ruthless tonight, Chris Melling. And he's 1 ball away from a spot in the final. Shaun Storry gave it everything. It wasn't quite enough. And the magician joins the machine on finals night. Chris Melling has done it. What a night here in the Champions League pool. Chris Melling with the win, and he had to work hard for it.
He did. He started off the match with a quick reverse dish, break dish, and the break dish was incredible, making 5 balls off the break. But thereafter, the sort of chances went Shaun Storry's way, and he sort of got himself back into the match from 3-0 behind. And you thought there, that last chance, maybe there was going to be a turning point. But I think Chris would have probably, watching Shaun chase that finish, probably would have been happy expecting to get an opportunity. And if the opportunity came, it was probably going to be a fairly open one. And that's how it panned out. So Chris will be very happy with his night's work after losing that first match.
Yeah, and for Shaun Storry, plenty to be proud of as well. He pushed these boys all the way.
No, absolutely. I think he's one of the most consistent, and I wouldn't say underrated because everyone knows how good he is, but you never see his level drop that low. He always seems to be there or thereabouts. He gets deep in a lot of competitions. He's not a name at the start of the tournament that a lot of people would really pick out as a potential winner, but he's always there or thereabouts, and I've got no doubts there's going to be more big titles on the way for Shaun if he continues the way he's going.
Yeah, super performance from him. Not quite enough, though, to usurp the magician from his spot on finals night. We will hear from Chris Melling when we come back. Oh, a very warm welcome back for the final time tonight to the Champions League pool. What a night we have seen. 4 top players entered, 2 leave as finalists. Michael Hill and finally Chris Melling qualifying through to make a mouth-watering finals night. And I'd like to say Chris joins us now. Chris, a huge congratulations. All or nothing in that final match, and he pushed you all the way, did Shaun Storry?
Yeah, Shaun's a great player, and like I said before, it's very cutthroat, All the players are great players who have got through to the finals night, and obviously next week's going to be tough again. But, you just got to play well and take your chances. I missed a couple of chances tonight, but all in all, I felt I played pretty well, really.
You mentioned it on commentary. It felt a little bit almost like the golden age, you and Michael, versus the new age in sort of David and Shaun tonight. Is that something that had crossed your mind at all, the chance to maybe just show some of these new boys that the old dogs have still got it?
Yeah, I mean, the game of pool allows you to do that, because there's a lot involved with the break. But obviously, with what Mick's won and what I've won, since I was like 16 years old, it always stands you in good stead when you come up in these events, really.
And obviously you've worked so hard to get to the finals night now. It's a fantastic match for your first up tonight against Aaron Davies. What do you make of your opponent in semi-final 1 to next week?
Again, I'll treat him as another opponent. He's no different to anybody that I've played tonight. Yes, he's been a former runner-up in the World Championships, but I've won it. So, it's a different game, different mindset, and obviously there's a lot on the line.
And just on tonight, obviously some frustration earlier on for yourself. How pleased are you just to get through it? What are your overall emotions after tonight?
Yeah, very pleased. Obviously, losing the first game to Mick 4-2, where I thought I could have got a lot closer. Maybe even a draw would have been a fair result. But he played brilliant, did Mick, and he took his chances. Where I missed a silly. Well, I knocked the black in, but that happens, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thanks to one of my new sponsors, Heselden Properties Limited. They've a new sponsor, so they're going to be backing me. And I'd like to also thank everybody back at home for supporting me back in Keighley. I'm doing this for you guys.
West Yorkshire massive. Congratulations, Chris.
Cheers.
Back to you, Simon. It's been a crazy night.
It's been an incredible night, Paul, as it has been all the way through this competition. It's really felt like it's been building up, and we've got one more week to come. And this is the lineup that we have for our final week. As we already knew, Aaron Davies and Neil Raybone came through last week, and then the two legends of the game, Michael Hill and Chris Melling, joining them tonight. It's an incredible lineup for finals night.
It's mouth-watering, isn't it? It really is. It's a dream lineup. It's a shark tank of quality. Any one of these four players you'd be expecting to win a title of this magnitude. You wouldn't begrudge any of them of it before the start of the tournament. They've all made it all the way through as well. Picking a winner is next to impossible, isn't it?
It is. I mean, any of those four could really win it. It's just the way this format is set up. I think it's difficult to pick a winner. I suspect that the bookies will probably have Michael as a slight favourite over Chris. They're playing in opposite semi-finals, but we've seen Neil and Aaron have been so consistent, not just through this tournament, but through all the times we've seen them on Free Sports over recent years. And it would be no surprise to me to see either of those two lift the trophy. I think the match I'm looking forward to the most is probably going to be the Aaron versus Chris match, just because of, I wouldn't say it's a clash of styles, but Aaron is that kind of that match player, and he's going to wait for the right opportunity, and he's so clinical when he takes it against Chris, who is he is the magician. He is capable of clearing up from anywhere and making anything happen. So really excited to see how that one pans out. Yeah,
I should mention as well that the group stages are gone. It is now It's now back to knockout matches. It's 2 semi-finals, it's 1 final. It really is all to play for, and the odds of a shootout are introduced as well with the format. So I don't think we've just about got enough time to chat the viewers through that as well. It's slightly different next week with it being 2 semis and a final. We'll get a little bit longer matches, and there is going to be plenty to play for. Yeah, the format changes back. Those of you that have been with us on Free Sports over the last few months, you'll have seen us show quite a few 4-to-1s, which is 2 semis and a final. So it's going to be, the semi-finals will be 2 sets. If it's 1 set all, or the scores are tied after 2 sets, then it will be a 6-red shootout, and exactly the same in the final. So there's a lot that can happen. There's a lot of pressure out there on it, as we've seen throughout this whole competition on every single shot. Yeah, we cannot wait for it. A big congratulations to Michael and Chris tonight. They've had to work very, very hard to put away 2 very, very good players in Dave McNamara and Shaun Storry. Commiserations to that pair as well. But we have it, ladies and gents. Plenty of weeks down. It's been a few months in the working, but we now have our finals night. Do join us next week, same time, same place, as we pick a winner in the Champions League of Pool. Till then.
This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.